Well, if it's for fun, then of course I'm a little more interested. And it is a good, intentful question, my friend. So, what is the next recognition of self? Was that the question? Another question? All right. Well, and of course, a lot of that sort of depends on where you are at and what angle you are looking from, whether you are looking, you could say, from all that you are, or whether you are looking from a more limited perspective of just your personality, which is so limited. So I say to you that if you are looking from the perspective of all that you are, then one of the things that you would be looking at is your time frame. And that means sort of like the times you are in. And the times you are in are times of change and choice. And you came into these times for that change and for that choice, for it to catapult you into exactly your question, more of who you are. So this is a time that offers a unique opportunity, sort of, you could say, a push toward yourself. That's not really accurate, but you could say that. You could say some facilitation towards it, because there is a shifting from a perspective of, you could say, distraction of what you are not, back onto yourself, back onto what it is that you are. And so within that, one part of the answer is shifting your focus more so back onto yourself. Because when you do, you are coming more so from that I, and hopefully from a sense of that I that is greater, greater because it is not just your personality I, but if you are focusing on a larger aspect of yourself, if you are being intentful, which is one of my favorite words, intentful, then you are hopefully aligning more to yourself. Hopefully you are looking for more connection to all that you are, the whole that you are, and therefore opening yourself to more guidance from that all that you are, that place of being more whole. That starts to change everything in and of itself. It may lead you to the question, well, how do I open to that guidance, more of that connection? And I say to you, my friend, that as much as you may or may not believe this, it is your choice, your decision just to look at yourself, because that I should say, your decision to look at yourself, that makes all the difference, that makes the change, because you are playing this game in what I call the experiential life system. You come, you have a body, you have an emotional body, you have a mental body. This allows you to facilitate energy, to hold ideas and beliefs. It allows you to have feelings and to process things at an emotional level. And it allows you to take actions, to have experiences, physical experiences. So you tend to misperceive that connecting with what you are, with all that you are, is going to come in the in those filters as thoughts, as feelings, as something you experience. And it does and it does not. Because what you are is not those things. Those things are temporal and they are part of the experiential life system. It is like saying, I want to go for a drive in the country. Well, you can't go blindfolded And you could walk, but you won't get very far. You might not make it to the country if you are in the city. So you have to get yourself the car. You have to set yourself a direction. Where in the country am I going to go? You have to maybe put on your glasses or whatever it is. So equip yourself for the trip. But you are you before the trip, during the trip, and after the trip. And I say to you, my friends, the same is true for your trip to the experiential life system. So this means that what you are is there before the trip, before you take on the body, the feelings, the mental thinking capacity, and you are what you are after the trip. And that means that the connection to all that you are is before the trip, during the trip, and after the trip. And that means that the connection, the guidance, if you will, has to come in a way that exists before and after as well. That means that you might have something that happens, an omen that speaks to you. You might have someone that says something to you. You might also receive that connection in ways that you register as thoughts, as visual things, as feelings, as something experiential, but it is energy first, because that is your means of communication, sensation. So if you don't know how to sense energy, that's the first thing to do. Look at improving your ability to do that, because you do know how. You just have to become conscious of it. And then you are greatly enhancing your connection to yourself just by choosing it. There isn't really a recipe. There isn't really directions to get you from here to there. There is just a place inside of you that makes the choice. It is like a lock that just clicks into place when you make the choice. I'm going to connect. I'm going to seek more of myself. I'm going to use these times, the energy that life is bringing, to shift myself and to just have more of that connection, to know more of what I am. And that is, if there is a recipe, that is it. And so it really begins with a real choice in yourself. And you could say that if you really choose that in yourself, for yourself, you're going to focus on yourself more, and then you could say the system will take care of everything else. It will line you up. It will take care of it with you. It will do the legwork for you, if you will. So that is all set up for you, and all you do is make that internal choice to focus more and to choose yourself more in those ways. Hopefully that's very helpful. All right, my friend, it has been great fun. Until next time.